party leaders and grassroots representatives from across the district. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Gani reports.
Those who are support that we are adopted as our consensus candidate for the Central District Election in 2027. Please say aye.
The unanimous endorsement of Ogun State Governor Prince Dr. Abiodun as the APC consensus candidate for the 2027 senatorial election attracted members of the Governor's Advisory Council, former serving local government chairmen, past and present lawmakers at both state and national levels, councillors from all wards in the district, as well as women and youth leaders. Speaking on behalf of the stakeholders, former senator from Ogun East, Leko Mustafa, says the decision was driven by a shared conviction that Governor Abiodun possesses the capacity to represent the district effectively at the Senate. Well, if you look at what he has done in Ogun State, we are all living witnesses to what has been happening in Ogun State in the past decades. And if you look at what he has succeeded in doing in Ogun State, there's nothing we can do than to compensate him and further encourage him to represent us at the National Assembly. And as a former National Assembly member myself, I believe that he has all it takes to represent us, and I know that surely he will represent us very well. In his remarks, Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, notes that the endorsement is historic and unanimous, adding that the governor's track records in governance and party cohesion make him deserving of the Senate seat. So glad that today we had another session, which is also historical, that everybody, over 2,000 people in this hall today, unanimously agreed that that was the rightful person to take that senatorial seat. I don't think anything can be louder than that. And these things are coming from the hearts of ordinary people. It's not contrived. It is the wish and the desire of the populace of Ogun East to say, this man is, let us give honor to whom honor is due. He has done so much for us as a state, even in the East. Some stakeholders also affirm the belief that Prince Dr. Abiodun is the right person for the position.
When you are doing well, the only way we can tell our governor and his appointees is that wherever he's going, we are with him and we always stand by him.
Prominent figures in attendance included former senators Benga Kaka and Leko Mustafa, Ogun East APC chairman Adedoya Deleke, and some party leaders and some party elders Kola Ogujobi, Bayo Dayo, Drojaye, Beba Temolu, James Dino, among others. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Similarly, political office holders and party leaders from Ogun West have pledged their support for the All Progressives Congress 2027 gubernatorial consensus candidate, Senator Solomon Adeola, leading the leaders in a pledge of loyalty and support with the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimo Talako Oyedele, and the 3 representatives of the district as the House of Representatives. Details are in this package.
Having been chosen as the gubernatorial consensus candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State, the senator representing Ogun West, Senator Solomon Adeola, kick-started consultation from his senatorial zone as a way of securing the support of his people before moving to other zones. Deputy Governor of the state, Engineer Noimo Talako Oyedele, led other governorship aspirants from Ogun West in reaffirming their loyalty and support for the candidature of Senator Adeola, popularly known as Yayi, calling on leaders and members of APC to unite and brace up for the challenges ahead.
My prayer is that God will grant our incoming governor, Senator Solomon Adeola, the wisdom, the strength, and the resources required not only to meet these expectations, but to exceed them.
In our individual units and wards and local governments, ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ilé ìṣẹ́gbẹ̀ tí wọ́n là ń rán bí àwọn tó kù náà máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rántí wọn.
Other stakeholders, leaders, and office holders from the zone lend their voices in calling for united front to ensure that the ultimate goal is realized.
We express our strength in the number of votes that we cast to ensure that this government is sustained.
Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Kule Salako, at whose instance the meeting was convened, harped on the need for everything to be done in ensuring that the overwhelming support of other zones is secured.
It is when all of us play our role that we can actually win the trophy and Yayi can collect the trophy on behalf of all of us.
Senator Adiola thanked his people for putting their trust in him with an assurance never to disappoint them.
I put God first in everything that I do. I'm a fair-minded person. I know what is right. What we are doing here today, everybody is on board without leaving anybody behind.
The APC governorship candidates then held another meeting with all the traditional rulers in Ogun West, led by Olu of Ilaro and paramount ruler of Yoland, Oba Kehinde Olugbele, to receive their blessings.
In a related development, the All Progressives Congress has fixed May 16th and May 23rd, 2026 for the conduct of its presidential and governorship primary elections ahead of the 2027 general elections. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka, who made this public, disclosed that in the ruling party's timetable signed by the National Organizing Secretary Sulaiman Agugu, presidential aspirants will pay 100 million naira for expression of interest and nomination forms. Governorship aspirants 50 million naira, Senate aspirants 20 million naira, and House of Representative aspirants 10 million naira. The Independent National Electoral Commission had fixed the presidential and National Assembly elections for Saturday, January 16, 2027, while the governorship and state houses of assembly elections are scheduled for Saturday, February 6, 2027. The Commission also stated that party primaries, including the resolution of disputes arising from them, will take place between April 23, 2026 and May 30, 2026. As Nigeria continues to strengthen its democratic process, youth participation in politics is gaining renewed attention, with many young people now taking active roles in governance and decision-making. With youths making up to 60% of the nation's population, stakeholders say their growing involvement is shaping policies, promoting innovation, and driving sustainable development across the country. Olaide Oloyeshulwade has the report.
In recent years, there has been a significant rise in youth engagement in politics, from elective positions to advisory roles, and active participation in policy discussions at various levels of government. This development, observers say, reflects a shift towards inclusiveness as more young Nigerians step forward to contribute their ideas. Speaking with OGTV, the special advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Youth Development, Comrade Olamide Lawal, commended the increasing opportunities available to young people, noting that many youth are now being given platforms to express themselves and influence policies.
There are many young people that are in this government that are doing very, very fine. And because the governor incorporated them into the system, that is why they are being exposed and their expertise is being used for the development of the state. So I always tell them that young people should get involved. Get your voter's card. Politics is for all of us. Don't let anybody use you. Use yourself. Be involved in the politics. Be involved in what is happening even within your locality, within your community, even within your house.
The Ogun State Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Akola Wale Shoremi, highlighted the growing awareness among youth, stating that more young Nigerians are becoming political conscious and actively engaging beyond election periods.
I particularly too, I'm a very young person. Aside from my office as the youth chairman for Ogun State, I also coordinate the state task force on human trafficking, where we have eminent personalities, people of reasonable calibers. So Ogun State government, through the administration of His Excellency, has been doing a lot of efforts to ensure that our young people are being promoted in the area of politics, and to also give us leverage as well in terms of our governance. So it has been commendable, and of course we can only wish that we have an improved level of participation as well.
Officials also reaffirmed their effort to further empower young people through leadership development program, entrepreneurship initiative, and inclusive governance structure.
The youth needs to understudy the elders, but at the same time, we have been able to contribute our quota to development of the country with our skills, with our energy that we have in the country. And I want to tell you today that if youth are given an opportunity to serve at the larger stage, if youth were given the opportunity, with or without no supervision, and with the right momentum and with the right tools to work with, I will tell you today, the future of this country is entrusting leadership power to the youth. And
it was also noted that the increasing visibility of youth in politics is a positive sign for Nigeria's democratic future, which calls for sustained support for policies that enhance youth participation.
Sensitize the youth on the importance of being part of the process. It's not enough to complain and be on the sideline, but it's important that you are playing the game and you are at the table when it's being done.
As Nigeria continues its democratic journey, the rising involvement of young people in politics offers hope for more inclusive and progressive society, where the voices of the younger generation contribute meaningfully to nation building. Olaide Oloye Sholuade, OGTV News.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has admitted 9 exhibits in the ongoing trial of former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and 2 others. Malami is being tried alongside his wife, Hajia Bashir, and his son, Abdulaziz Malami, on a count 16 charge of money laundering filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC accused the 3 of conspiring to conceal, disguise, and retain about 8.7 billion naira, alleged to be proceeds of unlawful activities. It's claimed that the alleged money laundering activities took place between 2015 and 2025 through multiple bank accounts, corporate entities, and high-value property acquisitions. In a bid to reposition its veterinary services department for improved performance, the Ogun State government has commenced the renovation of veterinary facilities across the state. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Bolu Owotomo, made this known during a visit to the newly renovated veterinary service clinic in Ota, noting that it was the first time the facility would receive a facelift since its establishment in the 1970s. According to him, the administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun is committed to ensuring that workers operate in a conducive environment equipped with modern furniture and necessary tools to enhance service delivery.
We are concluding renovation of the veterinary hospital in Ota and as well in Ijebu-Ode. Very soon we will commence that of Ilaro, Ikene, and Abeokuta. We are currently of Ogun State to use government-owned veterinary hospital because we have adequate human capital. We have adequate human capital to support the animals and to ensure that animals have proper health and they do not spread disease. In Ogun State, we have 5 veterinary hospitals under the Ministry of Agriculture, and by the benevolence of His Excellency, these veterinary hospitals are going through innovation, and they have not gone through innovation since they were constructed in the 70s. This is the first time that this particular institution will be seeing a facelift. We have changed the rules, we have ensured that they have adequate work environment, a fantastic work environment to work in, and to have adequate furniture and fittings and also equipment to be able to treat our animals, and to be able to ensure that zoonotic diseases are prevented from the populace.
The renovation underscores the fact that the present administration's Yellow Roof Revolution is not limited to schools, primary healthcare centers, and housing, but also extends to the agricultural sector. The Commissioner further warned individuals encroaching on government assets to desist, stressing that defaulters would face appropriate sanctions. Nigeria's foreign policy is coming under renewed scrutiny, with calls for strategic rethink to better reflect national interest and citizens' welfare. A professor of history and international relations, Kenneth Nwoko, makes the call at the second inaugural lecture of Macpherson University, Serikishotayo, Ogun State. Taiwo Fabajo has the report.
The second inaugural lecture of Macpherson University draws scholars and dignitaries from across Ogun, Lagos, and other southwest states, as well as beyond. Professors, academicians, members of the University Council, and traditional rulers gathered within the institution's serene environment to engage in intellectual discourse. With the theme, Nigeria's peacemaking and regional security engagement since 1960, balancing national interest and international commitment, the guest lecturer, Professor Kenneth Nwoko, calls for a realignment of Nigeria's foreign policy. He says government must prioritize the collective interests of its citizens while engaging in international diplomacy. According to him, Nigeria's involvement in global peacekeeping and regional security operations carries significant economic and diplomatic implications. However, poor political will, corruption, and economic instability continue to weaken the nation's capacity to effectively address its internal security challenges. Professor Nwoko emphasizes the need for Nigeria to carefully weigh its international obligations against the well-being of its citizens, noting that public trust and support remain critical to sustaining such agreements.
That the nation has suffered significant material, financial, and human losses as a result of this engagement. After spending billions of dollars and losing hundreds of its soldiers, the nation is perceived to have lost more than it gained. Therefore, it is not surprising that more citizens, critics, and scholars are calling for a shift in the country's big brother stance in West Africa, advocating instead for a focus on the welfare of its citizens.
Guests described the lecture as timely and thought-provoking, urging the federal government to place the welfare of Nigerians above external commitment.
I'm very happy indeed for the exposure which is going on. Those are going out, but the problem we are having is left our government to find some solution to abolish what past incidents that have been happening.
The Vice Chancellor of Macpherson University reiterates the institution's commitment to hosting impactful academic engagements that contribute to national development. The highlight of the event is the decoration of the guest lecturer. Taiwo Fabajo, OGTV News.
And Finance, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the National Nigerian Communications Commission signed a memorandum of understanding to tackle SIM-related fraud and strengthen consumer protection across Nigeria's digital ecosystem. The agreement, signed at the CBN headquarters in Abuja, aims to improve coordination between the financial and telecommunication sectors, focusing on combating electronic fraud linked to mobile numbers, enhancing payment system integrity, and protecting consumers. Speaking at the event, the CBN Governor Olayemi Kadoso said the pact was a practical statement of national interest, noting that the increasing reliance on digital channels for payment and financial service required stronger collaboration between both regulations. Kadoso explained that the deal would strengthen coordination on approvals, technical standards, and innovation trials, including sandbox testing, to ensure that financial services remain reliable and scalable. And on foreign scene, Washington and Tehran have both expressed readiness to resume hostilities as Pakistan peace talks remain in limbo after Iran pulled out of the second round of negotiations. The U.S.